Hello buddy, Andy here again, right, the latest part of my Spanish video diary. It's Saturday, lovely morning as per usual. But I was reading something in a book yesterday by Chris Stewart, who I mentioned earlier, and his most recent book, the Almond Blossom Appreciation Society. That's right, happened to be in the house. I think it's the one I showed you the other day actually. And there's a bit in there about that he said it rained in June 2004. And I think that pretty much sums it up about here. Yeah, and it rained very sort of briefly for 2 hours, torrential downpour, and that was it for for the rest of the summer. And it started again in September. And I think that's pretty much it. We had a few clouds have appeared, but generally another sunny day. I'm sure there's people out there who recognise that sort of weather patterns, but from coming from someone from Britain, that's quite unusual, and that's actually quite nice, quite different. So anyway, yesterday, Friday, took a drive out on my own actually, because the others were sort of still around. My daughter seems to sleep till about midday. Oh dear, sort of hibernating in a bedroom. Took a drive up into the hills that separate here from the Mediterranean coast. Something that I'd done before. Found this sort of little road a few years ago when I was here last time, and drove right up to the top. You may well have seen some footage by now, you never know. Great views in both directions, and down towards the coast and also back towards the Sierra Nevada mountains. Stunning views up there, and also just before that at the bottom of the road some stunning views actually across this whole river valley with the mountains in the background as well. And I'm sure I saw a little speck of snow up at the top of the Sierra Nevada, because they do have skiing up there, believe it or not. So you could potentially ski in the morning, and then in the afternoon you could be down on the beach on the Mediterranean. Strange, isn't it? But I know that happens elsewhere. So we were looking around the garden yesterday evening actually, myself and my wife, wandering around, because I took some shots, because once again in the sort of the evening light, the hills look an amazing colour. It's one of those places that it looks different every time of day. I've mentioned this in other videos about other sites as well. They're constantly changing colour, and you're constantly taking photos or bits of video, because you think, wow, that looks really good today, and then half an hour later it looks even better, so you have to go out and do it again. And we were wandering around, we found all these trees. We found almond trees in the garden, which we didn't know. I mentioned the oranges and lemons, fig trees we've got, which are just starting to ripen now. Tried a few of those, but still need a bit of work, I think. Obviously the obligatory olives, loads of like apples and what look like pears, peaches or something, I'm not sure. So I was thinking that it would be great to live, I know I mentioned this in another video about living in places like this, but it'd be great I'd love to live in a place like this for a year, just to experience all the different seasons, to see what it brings. Because I mean, I like the seasons at home in the UK, and they're sort of pretty definite seasons, although they are sort of moulding into one now, I suppose. Wet most of the time, outbreaks of sunshine, which is the other way around here, I think. But I thought it'd be great with all the fruit. As I said, the fruit appears to be sort of ripening now. Hopefully, I'd like to get the odd orange before we leave, but I don't think we're going to, but we'll see. But it'd be great to be here to see that all through, see the fruit ripening, go through the winter and see what it's like. Because first thing in the morning, today being a good example, it's actually quite chilly, relatively, I suppose. If I was at home I'd probably think it was fine, but you wake up, come out to the pool, the sun's not quite onto the pool yet, it takes a couple of hours for it to get up here. And you think, whoa, that's quite chilly. Because I like to go into the pool for a nice swim, but I haven't actually bothered today because it's quite, I don't want to get too cold afterwards. So, but this is the best time of the day, I think. Fairly early in the morning, sit by, I've got my feet dangling in the pool, and just picking up the first rays of the sun. Nice and generally pretty peaceful here. So that's what we've been doing. But as I said, it'd be great to live here for a year just to experience it all, because I do like. So looking around, we all like to wish we brought my bird book with me, because of all the different birds I've seen, an insect book as well, because it's some of the amazing insects that you see around here, and generally sort of not bothering. Go at home and some of the insects are a right pain in the butt, but over here they don't seem to be quite so bad. They tend to leave you alone, I suppose. And also the different trees. We've seen sort of some of the trees in this garden, and we thought, wow, what on earth is that? You recognise some of them. So bring lots of guidebooks for trees, for insects, for birds if you come to this place. I usually bring my bird book, and I forgot. But as I said, I did see some nice bee eaters yesterday, some alpine swifts flying around yesterday evening as well, and the bats in the evening, they're quite interesting to look out for. And there's a full moon as well, so it's great. Anyway, I'll leave it for there. We're going to go into town later on Saturday, have a look around and maybe have a nice cup of coffee. So anyway, I'll speak to you fairly shortly, I expect. Anyway, thanks for your time. I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.